Gliricidia is a wonder tree that gives farmers the best out of their farming. When planted and used correctly, the benefits are so amazing. Soils become improved to increase crop yields just as much as chemical fertilizers do. Furthermore, you collect sticks for fuel wood, which you harvest from the fields, and many other benefits. But how is this Gliricidia used in the field to realize these benefits? Remember that farming is your business, and if you want to realize the best, you need to follow the requirements.
This tree, so-called Gliricidia, is very important in conservation. There are so many reasons given. One of the most important reasons to give is the benefit a farmer gets from the leaves. These leaves, when put in these rip lines, they give a very high, they give a lot of nitrogen into the soil. Now, how do we apply them into these rip lines? First, we have to cut. We have to cut the Gliricidia. When we cut the Gliricidia, that's when we remove the leaves and apply them into rip lines. And not only that, we bury them. We bury them. The reason why we bury these leaves into in these rip lines is that they should not be directly heated by the sun, because by so doing, that content of nitrogen which is found in the leaves, they evaporate it into the atmosphere. As a result, there is nothing a farmer can benefit if the nitrogen evaporates into the atmosphere. But when it is buried, it is well buried, the nitrogen, instead of evaporating into the atmosphere, they go deeper into the soil, hence improving the soil structure.
I do apply my compost manure or Gliricidia leaves, which are organic fertilizers, in this field. When we prepare these basins, then we apply Gliricidia leaves, and then we add compost manure, then we bury. Then when the rain comes, we plant our seed.
We take some measurement, like our hands. We took our hands twice. We put in our minimum tillage, like lip lines. We are standing in 1 meter, so that our hands, we took our hands, manure in our hands twice. We put in our 1 meter foot, so that our seed, once we are planted, our seed can grow well. That's when we are using this Gliricidia tree Sepium.
When correctly applied and buried in the soil, the fresh leaves decompose so easily and supply the needed nutrients to the developing crop. Cutting or pruning of mature Gliricidia trees can be done using tools that a farmer can afford. The common tools are pangas and axes. However, a bosso, if affordable, does a very good job. It leaves clean cuts and does not injure the stem too much, and that makes easy copicing. Another soil management activity that farmers must do correctly is tilling the soil. A farmer can use a magoe reaper pulled by oxen to reap or prepare planting lines. The reaper breaks the soil hardpan to allow root penetration. Women and children are saved from traveling long distances to look for fuel wood in the bush.
Yaba mitengo nikajuba, nikachosako sidianga, nimanyamula nopeleka kunyumba. Tili natuma cookie stove, kumundi kunyumba kuja. Tinatuma so timatenga nkuni zamene zindio zamene timapikira. Sini mavutika kutia iniende nikasakire kuli nkuni. Nibwere nipike nishite bwanji. Hapa ninayo kudala na hipu ya Gliricidia kunyumba kuja mene nipikira hapo pa nkuni.
They also reduce the risks of snakes and other dangers faced while in the forest. The girl child saves time for her schoolwork, while time is saved for other household work sectors. Production of vegetables by an agroforest farmer becomes easy with Gliricidia, as there is no need to look for synthetic chemicals.
For the process of making pesticides in my tomatoes, I'm using the leaves of Gliricidia. I pound it, then you put it in a bucket, then you mix it with water for overnight. Then the following morning, that's when I spray it in my tomato. So I use these Gliricidia tree logs instead of using other trees for controlling the lines in my tomatoes. Nowadays, there's a climate change. So instead of cutting down the trees, anyhow, it's better we use the Gliricidia trees to control the tomatoes.
Indeed, this is a wonder tree. Many are getting the benefits, and I am sure many more farmers would like to use this method of agriculture, which is also beneficial to the environment. How then does one plant this tree? Do they plant seeds in the field? Damase Kepiri is a farmer from Chitalawe village in Chief Zumwanda Chiefdom of Lumezi district in eastern Zambia, and he walks us through a step-by-step process of establishing nurseries until the time of transplanting them in the soybeans or groundnut field.
Today we are going to show you how we prepare soils for Gliricidia planting. In order to have Gliricidia, you have to have the following things. You have to collect soil from the bushes. Then you collect the manure from all the crows and which are at least 2 years not used. This manure, when you collect them, after collecting manure, you go for sand. Again, from there, you go and fetch for soil under Gliricidia trees. After doing so, you put all the materials, the soils together. As they are hard, you need to break them. After they are being broken, you sieve them on a safe. You should sieve so that they become fine. After being fine, you have to collect soil from the bushes. That is about 3 wheelbars. Then you collect the manure, 1 wheelbar. After collecting manure, you go for sand, about 1 wheelbar. Again, soil under Gliricidia trees, half a wheelbar. After mixing all the soils, you collect water and pour into them to make it at least at a good moisture rate. If it has good moisture, it will be easy for you to be put in filling pots. After filling the pots, you fill them to the top, not leaving any space. From there, you get the seeds. seeds, you should soak them at least for 24 hours before planting. You see that those seeds which you come on top of the water, it means they are not corrected. You go for the seed which you think which will be found below, down the water. They are the best seeds you can plant. From there, you come to your pots which you have already filled, and then you press the seed inside to about 2.5 centimeters inside and cover with the soil which is on top. Then you transfer those seeds to the nursery beds, or we put them in a line. The pots are being put in a special line. Thereby you go and collect trees, you cut them and put a trunk on top, which we call as a basa in our local language. From there, you can water your seeds. They will germinate properly, as the top trunk there will protect it from sunlight and the force of water falling on your seeds.
After the Gliricidia seeds germinate, the trusses are removed from the nursery. This is to allow the seedlings to receive enough light for growth, and also as a way of strengthening them. With this tree, your yields are improved, and you become food and cash secure with this farming. Soils are saved, and forests can easily regenerate. Let us ensure we establish Gliricidia nurseries early enough and transplant our seedlings in large quantities, as this will surely kick hunger and poverty out of our communities. Special thanks goes to our donors for their generous support in helping us to make this video.